Hi everyone, welcome back to Beef Reacts, and today is a late one. I would very much like to record a video before 2 or 3 hours before midnight, but you know what? We do what we do. We post every day, and we just full send it every time. Today was a pretty good day. Was on a podcast, which will probably be up in like a week or two. It was like an anime award show. I did it with the Lambency people. Definitely didn't say his name right. I apologize, Lamb. But I did it. It was a lot of fun. Ended up taking a pretty long time. Not in a bad way. Just it was enjoyable, and that happened. Then I just had to work. So just basic everyday stuff. But today we're gonna be doing another AMV. I like AMVs a lot, actually. They're just a lot of fun, and it's not too... I just realized this has been up this whole freaking time. Wow, I am off of it today. I am genuinely off of it. But fuck it, we ball, So let's talk about a couple of concepts here that I think are important with AMVs and just general storytelling. If you're gonna go into an AMV, it's best to figure out like quickly if it's showcasing just cool stuff that people like about it, if they're trying to do a more of a story approach, things I talk about all the time. But what makes AMVs really cool is also the music can really fit the show or not fit the show as like a unofficial soundtrack in a way. So like I always like that aspect of it. But let's just jump into it and see where this takes us. And we will bring up the music. God, if there's this slow build-up's actually intense, and on top of that, let's just take a moment. If you haven't seen Code Geass, it's a top-tier show. It really is a top-tier show. The writing of it's actually fantastic. And I think it was one of those shows that was like kind of like Cowboy Bebop, where show then turned into manga or something along those lines. Or maybe it was a light novel series first, but no. I believe it was a light novel turned into a show. I don't think it ever had a manga. But overall, just a fascinating show. And, like, imagine if Light Yagami had feelings, and that's how I described Lelouch v. Britannia. I also described Lelouch v. Britannia as a overall better character than Light Yagami. I think Light Yagami ends up being too, not idealistic, but too stupid near the end, where Lelouch kind of, you get a lot of runtime out of him, actually, like, as a character. The big thing about Lelouch, too, that I feel like isn't ever brought up is that his Geass isn't particularly even, like, it's a strong one, but it's not. Like, it's, like, kind of interesting how it can evolve and, like, those things happen. But, like, his Geass, which is the King's Command, just lets him look into people's eyes one time. It's time to do something, they'll just do it. Like, I think it wouldn't be as strong if he wasn't as intelligent as he was, and if he wasn't naturally a strategic person. It's at least how I feel about it. I think Lelouch too, as like I guess as the Demon King, if that's what you want to call him, or I think Lelouch the Liar is the best term, because the one thing about his character that I was always fascinated with is that you never really knew when Lelouch was telling the truth. You just didn't. Like that's what kind of what made the character cool. Not that he was like this grand great liar, just the way he didn't tell the truth, or the way that he hid his true intentions more often than not. And like I think the show does a good job of saying like he's still not like, even if though he did all this horrible stuff for a good reason, he's still not really the good guy in the end. It's more of like a tragedy. Lelouch v Britannia is like a tragedy in and of itself, which adds like a lot, not a lot of mystique, but a lot of like interesting ideas. I know I'm talking a lot about the show, but there's really no good way for me to react to the show unless I find someone who has never seen it and I make them watch it with me. I mean, if you're down for that, we can have a conversation. I'd be down to do it. But, you know, it's just Godspeed. Everything with Princess Euphemia, just God, this just makes me want to watch fucking Code Geass again. I would love to watch Code Geass with you guys. Like, it is such, like, it's one of my favorite shows because it hits so fucking hard. Like, I can't explain it. And like, also this music video is very like, it's very well done, and I think it's a good combination of both storytelling and just kind of giving vibey stuff that fits with the music. And I always like that, because it's just making music videos out of songs that exist or anime that exists you think it fits the vibe of is great. But as the editor in this, like, it adds an extra layer of difficulty, because it's not like you're taking a song, which is a material, and creating a story around it. You're creating you are taking two separate stories and kind of jamming them together, trying to create meaning from it, which is a really nice juxtaposition. And when you're actually going about it, it adds so much love to the material.
What have you done? Is this what you wanted? What have you become? Your soul's not forsaken. You're walking alone from heaven into hell. Now that you know you're weighing this madness, your powers are grown. Your chains have been broken. You suffered so long. You will never change. Angels have faith. I don't wanna be a part of his sin. I don't wanna get lost in his web. I'ma play this game where the shadows remain in the light of day. On the wings of darkness, you retaliate. You'll be falling from grace till the end of all his days. From the ashes and hate, it's a cool demonstrate. On the wings of darkness, please return to stay. There will be no escape, 'cause he's fallen far from grace.
Oh god, this is just a cool music video. Like, it's invoking a lot of thoughts, and a lot of, like, I shouldn't say invoking a lot of thoughts, but like I keep thinking about this idea of a demon's fate, because it's like we use like archetypes in media, and we use like characters to like typically have certain story elements around them. And it's not an obsession. It's I think people end up writing the things that they believe the world to be about, regardless of if the world's actually about that or not. And like that is kind of what makes it interesting in a way, or cool in a way. Like, what makes Lelouch v. Britannia an interesting character is that he is the one who not like controls fate, but like he gives himself the mark of the demon. He's the one who gives himself this identity of the liar without ever asking what he genuinely wants. So it's a character who is doing, like, not even, like, I can't even say lawful evil. Like, he has such an interesting philosophy, not one that I agree with, but one that, like, genuinely forces you to think, because it's like, okay, he's doing all of this horrible, horrible atrocities at the end of the day because he thinks that as a Machiavellian character, it will do good. And, like, I normally do not enjoy characters like that. I don't like them because I think people are complicated. Everyone's a hypocrite. Myself more often than not. And it's like, you like those characters when you can see idealistic versions of yourself in them, and you dislike those characters when you see the things you don't like about those qualities in that character, or things you don't like about yourself having those qualities in that character. And I think storytelling, no matter what, should be reflective of you as a whole. I think life should be reflective of you as a whole, genuinely, just not in like this selfish reason or realization, but like you can have like a skepticist point of view of like, I think therefore I am, or like there are other people that exist and I exist, but I can't ever really know truly what other people are thinking, so the only thing I can really know is myself, and yada yada yada. So like, most of the time people, regardless if they think of it or not, will view themselves in relation to one another. And what makes stories really good with that is that every character is supposed to be reflective of the theme that's going on in a different sense. At least the major players within that theme, and that's kind of what makes a good story really start to thrive, especially within media. And like, me being up here and talking to you is me just telling you my personal preferences. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm not anything like that. I'm just a dude who really fucking loves stories. And I really fucking love anime and manga because they're stories that aren't really told here. You don't get Dead Man Wonderland here. You don't really get Dragon Ball Z here. Yeah, you get it because it's been imported and that kind of thing, but you don't get the same story. The closest thing that you get in the West to Death Note is fucking Breaking Bad. And Breaking Bad, while fantastic, it's not Death Note. Not that really matters, but
Angels have made. I don't wanna be a part of this sin. I don't wanna get lost in his web. I'm a faithless
ultimately the song does reflect back on Lelouch, because he is the demon, and we are watching what the demon's fate ultimately is. It's spoiler alert for Lelouch. Well, Code Geass, Lelouch v. Britannia. It's one of the greatest endings of all time in anime. If you have not seen it, for the love of God, do not fucking listen at all. It kind of alludes to it with this ending here, but like his death, like it is his fate. It's what he always wanted, to make a better world for Natalie to have and for it to be hers, and he wanted to give her the world, and he succeeded in doing that. But the only way he could succeed in doing that is basically damning himself to hell, which I've always found to be a fucking fascinating story. And I really would like to like not explore it, but like I'd love to see other stories explore that idea of doing the horrible things that no one else will do. Like he just summarizes that whole "the villain will sacrifice the world for you" trope so fucking well, and that's why I love Lelouch.
Where the shadows remain in the light of day, on the wings of darkness, here we retaliate. Till we fall from grace, till the end of all is day. From the ashes of hate, to cool demons fade, on the wings of darkness, please return to stay. There will be no escape, 'cause it's fallen far away.
Whoops. Well, everyone, so today was a relatively shorter video. I still ended up talking a lot. I always somehow end up doing that, but if you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. I'm a little exhausted, so I apologize that I wasn't as expressive today, but I'll be back tomorrow with some more RWBY, and I'm really excited to just get all this stuff out for you and just be able to, spend time with you today. So I'll talk to you later. Love you, appreciate you. Be safe and peace out.